So what is the importance of a well-crafted research brief? So I've probably alluded to many of these things already, but I think the first thing is that it is that foundation for success. So it's not just research that vital briefing. It's in marketing communications. All of us on the agency side, no matter what, always want to have a good brief across all professions. And that quality of that brief directly impacts the research value. So I think a well-written brief can actually save you money and save you time, because we are then focused on the business decisions that you're going to make off the back of the research, rather than the nice to knows, for example, which can often come through and be overemphasized in terms of its importance in a reverse brief. But there are challenges in crafting a brief, and we understand that it can be a daunting task, especially for those occasional briefers or for people that never have actually written a brief, and that's absolutely okay. There's, I think us as an industry, that's our part of our job, is to educate and help people in that process. And one of the difficult things is translating those business problems into a research aim and supporting objectives, translating it into executive aspects, deliverables, and expected outcomes. So I would ask that the client kind of focuses on the business problem. And I think it's good to have some, to translate that and to have a go at translating it. But the agency can really help you with translating a business problem into research aims and objectives, and the deliverables. But we also really want the client to also tell us what are the expected outcomes of the research itself. Then we've got the benefits of invested in the time. I really do believe it yields better results and return on investment, because it avoids wastage, it avoids time on clarifications. As I mentioned earlier, we would always ask clarifying questions, but a well-written brief, the first thing we would normally do is go through that brief and put out our clarifying questions. If we're having a reverse brief, we're really starting from scratch. So there's a lot of, understanding the background and all those kinds of things that led to the business problem in the first place. The risk of a poor or no brief drains time, drains resources, and may lead to findings that miss the mark, as I mentioned, costing both time and money because we've gone down the wrong road. And then there's the solution, taking the time to understand what the business problem you're trying to solve. I think this, if I get one thing through today, it would be, when you're writing a brief, is what are we trying to solve? What are we trying to solve today? And that obviously comes from a business problem, and how research might assist you in achieving this. Great briefs enhance our research. So good briefs are great for good research. Great briefs, I think, can lead to amazing outcomes in research in terms of the interpretations and those recommendations, and making sure you really, when we get to the pointy end of our delivery, which is the so what, these are the conclusions, these are the implications, these are the findings. Well, when we know exactly what was keeping you awake in the first place and what we're trying to solve, then that's going to help us in our interpretations and our recommendations. So hopefully I can simplify this process for you today, and therefore, moving forward, for you guys, maximize the value from your time and budgets.